Hi, everybody. My name is Amisha, and I am a certified coach and NLP trainer. And my prime focus is to coach people on emotional fitness. My coaching goes by the name PowerBabe. Um, if you want to know what the history of the name is or why the name, give me a DM. But if you don't, then just carry on listening to what I'm going to share. Um, so generally, let's take a background on emotional fitness. So generally, all of us have two faces, or we wear two masks. Mm, pun intended in these days, in the times of a pandemic. Um, one one face or mask is for the world, and one is for ourselves. Right? The one that we show to the world is generally brave. We attempt to come across as inspirational. What we want to show is more of our capabilities, our strengths, and we hide all of the weaknesses and any of the negative traits. And the ones that we have for ourselves when we are by ourselves, when we are in our space, when we're not being watched, when we're not being judged, is generally the one of doubt, maybe untold fears, anxiety, panic, just a helplessness over situations that are happening to us and we're not sure how we can make changes, and so on. So, why do I say this, or how do I know this? Very simply, we all know things only because we've either heard it or we've experienced it or we've seen it, right? And usually we're more certain about things that we have experienced. And yes, I've experienced this for sure. Given my own encounter in, with grief after I lost my father when I was 17 years old, my response or my instant reaction to the situation was more that I need to take charge. I need to resolve what's happening. Even a hidden fear, I would say, that I've lost my dad now, and I hope I don't lose my mom, because mom used to be very, very unwell, physically unwell. She suffered a lot of medical problems, and the fear was always that the problems would, she would succumb to all of them. So rather than trying to, or rather than letting myself grieve or letting myself feel the impact of the situation, my response was to try and take charge, take charge and get on top of it rather than let it consume me. And what I forgot in the bargain, or what I neglected, I would say, is the word, is my emotional side, or how the whole situation of losing my parent at a young age, still in college, still had to complete my education, had all of the impact of that situation on my emotional side, my emotional well-being, my emotional fitness. And let's compare this to maybe something that happens to us physically. Okay, we all in our childhood had falls, while playing in the playground. We might have had some injuries, some bruises, and we've managed to get up from that fall and carry on. A lot of times we ignore those bruises, we ignore the grazes. Yeah, it might sting for a bit. I don't know about y'all, but my thing was like, if it happened, I would just come home and sort of wash it off and clean it off. And yeah, it would hurt for a bit, and I would cry and sob for a bit that it hurt. But after a while, I would just get back to, my usual playful self. Yes, I am playful, just in case you were wondering. And you'll get to know that side of me as well as we go through these videos. But there are times when people have had drastic mishaps, unfortunately. And they very well survived it. They're very well living and alive. Uh, but those kind of mishaps may have created some kind of a misalignment in their, physical activity or how they are in general, right? So a lot of times what happens is we can have injuries and we can have the bruises and the bleeds. Um, but what if they were not treated? What if they were not treated? What would happen then? They would naturally turn into something serious. They would, possibly get into infections and, start spreading and things like that, right? I'm quite sure a lot of us have experienced that as well. There have been times when I never bothered to tell my parents if I was hurt. I would just sort of go on and, see whatever was happening, just sort it out on my own and, just not bother with it. And things would go from bad to worse. There would be all sorts of weird stuff, and then one has to run to the doctor and get medications and get dressings and whatever else. So, really, the same thing happens with our emotions, you know, exactly the same thing. So, even if they are minor on the outside, even if the incident is minor on the outside, there is what I call an emotional charge that gets created. Okay, and that gets lodged within our emotional, mental, framework, right? And that emotional charge varies depending on the magnificence, is it? What is the word? Upon the size, yeah, upon the size of that experience or the impact that that experience has made on us. Now, a lot of you might say that no, you've never had any such incidents in your life, which is absolutely great, isn't it? And yet, you might find that for no reason at all, you might feel like uh, I'm frustrated, or apparently for no reason, I'm feeling low. Uh, the pandemic's getting to me, even though everything in my life is really good. So if you feel that way, okay, if you ever felt that way, type a yes in the comment box below and give me what is it that happens, or tell me what is it that happens with you, because it's important to know this. Okay, it's important to know this for your own benefit, for your own health, for your own fitness, because our emotional well-being is what leads to our physical well-being, fitness, continuity of joy in our lives, continuity of achieving in our lives, and so on. So if you want to know more about it, of course, I'm going to come up, follow me on Facebook, social media, give me a like, come and join my Facebook group. The link is below, and we talk more about it in the next one. So see you there.